Aligned Natural Health. Today, I'm going to talk to you about weight loss and weight gain for women in perimenopause. So, after about the age of 35, it can even be younger. For me, I was in my early 30s when I went to the doctor and they said, "Oh, it looks like you're in perimenopause." And I was like, "What the heck? Menopause isn't supposed to be until later in life." But weight is one of the common symptoms that we see women come to us because they're frustrated with. All of a sudden you've been doing the same things, you've been following the same diet, you've been exercising the same, and the weight starts to come on. And it can be really difficult to get rid of weight at this period of your life. And there's a couple things that can be behind this based on your history. If you have a history of chronic dieting, it can be more challenging at this phase of life, or excessive exercise, which was my story in the past as well. I was a competitive local, I'll say locally because I don't mean like big time competitive, but I used to compete in CrossFit and used to do it pretty much every day of the week. And what we've been finding that we need to look into when we're working with clients now, and what I found for myself as well, is that we need to figure out, why is your body holding on to the weight? That's the question that I had never asked in the past. I have a history as a bit of a personal training background. I did a whole lot of, CrossFit and working with people to help them before. And the focus was like, how can we force your body to lose the weight? But it's the wrong question. What do we need to do to get your body to let go of the weight is not the right way to be looking at this. What I've learned from working with multiple clients over the last several years, and myself as well, as I mentioned, is what we need to be asking is, what's getting in the way? What's getting in the way of your body being able to lose the weight, or why are you putting it on? Because the body doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't do things just for fun. So if you're holding on to weight, the body is trying to protect you. Ultimately, every symptom that you're dealing with, everything that's going on in your body and in your health, your body is trying to protect you from something. And we're so conditioned to look at things and be like, oh, the weight is a problem. The weight is a sign from the body that there's something that needs your support. And so weight can be there because if you're dealing with high amounts of toxins in your life, that could be from your environment, that could be from the air that you breathe, or the food that you eat, or the water that you drink. There's so many different ways that we come in contact with toxins in our lives. And if we were just to allow them to roam free in our systems, we would all be really sick. So the body has a brilliant mechanism to be able to take those toxins and put them in our fat cells. It actually wraps them in fat and puts them in our fat cells to keep us safe. It prevents us from getting sick. But a lot of the times, if you're trying to lose weight and you haven't done the work to figure out what your body needs in terms of support to clean things up, it's not going to want to let go of the weight because it's trying to keep you safe, and releasing those toxins into your system is not going to be beneficial. Another one that I've talked about this week, and it's something that I'm dealing with right now as well. Like, health is a constant journey. It's not a one and done. It's not, you do 3 months with a practitioner or you do a year with a practitioner. I've been working with a practitioner for more than a year now, and I've worked with various practitioners in the past as well. But we're currently working on mold, and the body works in layers. It's like the whole Shrek thing with, we're like an onion, things happen in layers. And if you start dealing with the fires that are going on in your system, which ultimately is where we need to start, it's going to take some time to put that fire out before you can start rebuilding and start focusing on the goals that you want. And so that's where we need to start. What is the fire that's going on in your body? That could be an underlying infection. That's something that we see quite often. And one is parasites, which people are often alarmed by, but not always. We went to an event on the weekend, and the really interesting part, it was a mind, body, spirit event. And there was a lot of people that understood the kind of crazy stuff that comes out of my mouth, talking about parasites, talking about the body is never lying. It's always trying to give us a message and tell us what help it needs and what support it wants. And we're just not conditioned to lean in and listen. And that's where Amanda and myself can help. We've been trained to be able to pick up that signal and communicate it back to you to, okay, this is what your body needs to function properly. And so I got off topic there, but mold is something that I've talked about a bit this week, because if there's mold in your system, your body is not going to be able to lose the weight. A lot of the times when we see people coming in with mold, rapid weight gain is actually a common one here because the body, like I said, it's trying to create all these fat cells to protect you and to keep these things out of your system. We wouldn't want these things roaming in our bloodstream. They'd end up in organs that are really important and that won't function properly when chemicals, toxins, heavy metals, mold, parasites, when all of these things are just roaming free in your system. So if you're getting rapid weight gain, that's often a time where we see that there's either some underlying infection, so that could be parasites. Yes, those happen in North America. I know most people are surprised by that. In the past, I used to think that parasites was only a thing like if you went to Mexico and you got, an upset stomach while you were there, or you went to some island country and you didn't feel well while you were there, that was parasites. They are in North America as well. And a lot of the times when there's a health problem going on, this could be because of parasites. But Western medicine typically doesn't even look at these things. They cause problems though. They cause big problems. So they can happen, they can lead to weight gain, they can lead to constipation, which is tied to weight gain. They can lead to diarrhea as well, and lots of other things. But ultimately, if there's infection in your gut, your body's not going to function the way it's supposed to. So you're going to have maybe brain fog, maybe it's headaches, maybe it's migraines, maybe it's polycystic ovarian syndrome or endometriosis. All of these are ways that your body is trying to keep you safe. And so if it's packing on weight or building cysts or forming polyps or forming all kinds of other growths in your system, what we need to start doing and realizing is that this is where we need to interpret what's the body saying. This is a message from the body. These bodies were designed to be phenomenal, and they are. They do so many different things to keep us safe and to help us move forward and stay healthy and happy for the rest of our lives. But when the things from the outside world or from our food system or from the water that we drink or the lotions, the things that we put on our skin, when we're putting all these toxins into our system, that's where things can start to go wrong. And that's where the body really needs your support. So, if you're someone who's been dealing with weight gain, and like I said, I went to school, I was 36 years old. I went back to 36 or 35, I don't remember, 35 or 36. And I went back to school for nutrition and I went to CrossFit. I got up at 4 o'clock every morning so that I would have time to study. So I'd have time to go to CrossFit before I had to go to class every day because I thought the way to maintain my body, the way to stay healthy and strong and not put on weight was exercise was number one and eating clean was number two. And so I was very focused on those two things. But what did I neglect? Sleep. It would have been better to stay in bed and get that extra hour of sleep in the morning than to force myself to go to the gym and work out because I thought that was the solution. And I actually may have been better to eat some more food at times because when the body is dealing with stress, there's times where it's going to need a little bit extra. But we're so conditioned to think that you need to eat less and exercise more to lose weight. And for a lot of people, that's not going to be the case. I gained probably won't have a scale anymore because I used to be like obsessed with counting calories and I have a history of all this stuff, which a lot of people experience too, right? We go down that calories in, calories out train, and it can be a hard one to stick to. But I was conditioned from a young age. I'm an 80s baby. I thought fat is bad for you. I thought fat will make you fat. I thought you just need to eat less, you need to exercise more, and that's the secret. And then you will have the body that you want. And so when I started to gain weight at school, I started to panic. So I exercised more. And so I dieted more, cut back my calories even more, drank more caffeine to keep myself up during the day because I wasn't getting enough sleep and I was tired from the exercising. And ultimately, all of this was causing problems in my system. We're adding stress to the body. So prioritizing stress, prioritizing sleep are two of the biggest things that you can do for your body in terms of giving it the help that it needs. And then we also need to figure out, is there an underlying infection or is there something going on in the system that's causing you to have the symptoms you're having? And yes, weight is a symptom. No, it's not the problem. It's a message from the body that something is not going right. And this is an area that I love to help with because getting to the root cause and getting to the bottom of why you're having problems that you're having, it's eye-opening for a lot of people, and it's often exciting because it's like, "I knew it. I knew there was something wrong. I knew it just wasn't because, I had that one bite of ice cream 2 weeks ago, and that's why I gained 20 pounds, or I looked at the donuts." I used to think that. I go to CrossFit, and they'd all have donuts on Tuesdays, and I was like, "I can't even look at those because if I do, I might as well just, like, tape it to my thighs," because I was convinced that if I looked at anything not good for me, that I would gain weight, and ultimately, that's not a healthy place to be in either because it's more stress on your system. It's more stress on your body, and stress is a time where all things shut off. It's where your body just focuses on what's priority, what's important for keeping you safe. So digestion suffers. Your body doesn't produce hormones properly. You won't sleep very well if you're stressed, and you'll be stressed if you don't sleep. There's kind of a catch 22 back and forth there. But there's so many things that we need to focus on that we're not conditioned to realize are actually really big factors when it comes to staying healthy. And if you've got weight on your body, there's an area where you're not healthy. A healthy body doesn't hold on to extra weight. And that could be because of whatever is affecting your system in terms of external environment, toxins, chemicals, metals, parasites, um, mold, all of the different things we come in contact with on a daily basis. And trying to figure this out on your own is hard. And I get it. And it's stressful, but it doesn't have to be. So if you've been struggling with symptoms and you're looking for help and you're frustrated because you've tried all the things, I've been there. I tried all the things too. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. The system doesn't give us the information and the support that we need as humans, especially as women. And if this is something that you'd like help with, send me a message. We offer a free discovery call. It's just a 10 to 15-minute chat to see what's going on with you and how can I help you. And if we're a good fit, then we can work together. If we're not, I have lots of people I can refer you to. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If you know anyone who is struggling with any of the things I mentioned or really any health problems and they feel like they're not getting answers, connect them with me. It's easy. You don't have to explain anything to them. You can have a conversation with them. If we're a good fit, cool. If we're not, that's totally fine too. So again, I'm Kate from Aligned Natural Health. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. It is pouring here right now. The skies opened right as I was about to go live. Hence, I'm all like artificial light right now, which usually isn't my go-to. But anyways, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. If you need any support, reach out anytime. And otherwise, I'm here to help you live well naturally.